Okay, let's put together a presentation sheet. So I'm going to go to Sheets and right click on that to make a new sheet. I need to find my presentation sheet, so I'm going to go Load, and I think I've saved it up on the desktop so I can find it quick. And we'll insert that in. And we'll drag that 3D view on. Oops, sorry, wrong screen. Once again, time to practice our idea of being able to change the size of it. So I'm going to change its scale. It's 7 inches right now. So let's say we go to maybe 16 inches. I'll click OK. And I kind of want to get rid of these titles below. I think this is more of a presentation sheet. So let's go ahead and create a new kind of viewport. Let's do the no title one. I don't know if we've done this before, but we're going to duplicate this. Right screen, duplicate, no title. And where it says view title, show title, should I say, we're just going to say no. And we'll click OK. And now there's no title block for that. It looks like the crop box is visible, so I'm going to turn that off. All these little things seem to enhance really the appearance of things. Let's create another 3D view that's a little more descriptive. So I'm going to go to the site, and I'll just pick a view from over here. Let's say I want to create I guess kind of an aerial bird's eye view. So I'm going to go to view once again, grab the camera, and let's come up high. So I'm going to change this to, let's say, 50 feet. Maybe 100, maybe 150. There we go. So we can just kind of see the relationship of the building footprint to the building. We can maybe even try to come up higher. This can be any view you want. This is just one of the suggestions of an alternate view. And we're going to go ahead and render that. And we'll go back to our presentation sheet. And we'll drag that onto the view. And once again, we need to change its size again. So we go to size, crop, and scale. And we'll go, let's say, 12 inches maybe. And we want to use the no title viewport. So our title block disappears. We want to turn off our crop. And let's render it in a more interesting way. So I'm going to go and click into it, go to the graphic display options, and turn off the edges, add some shadows to it. No background because we really want it to be transparent. I'll click apply on that. And it's a little on the hard to see the truss. So maybe we can adjust the lighting a little bit. So we'll go to in session and we'll make it, let's say try to make the lighting come from the top left and see if that changes things at all. I'm not totally happy with that, but I think that's probably good for this. And let's just maybe up its scale again. So I'm going to deactivate the view and select it and change its size crop and maybe take it up to 16 inches. Then the last thing I want to do is a view of the truss itself. So once again, I'll go back to the site and I'm going to make a new camera view. Where's view? There it is. And this time I'm going to hide some things. I'm going to hide and view all of this category, the walls. So we just have the truss system, and we'll go ahead and render this realistically. And we're going to hide our lines, turn our shadows on, and let's apply that, see what we got. Might be pretty good. And we're going to try to put that onto the presentation sheet. And we can make this huge. So we're going to scale this. And let's try 24 inches. Okay, and we don't want that title block. And you'll notice really kind of nice. This will actually kind of lay over the other graphic if we wanted it to. And we could actually make an adjustment here. We'll do that in a second. We're going to make this a no title viewport. Let's go to this one now, and actually I'm going to, oops, I think I have to deactivate the other view first. Let's activate this view, and I'm going to try and grab the crop box of this. Let's turn it on so I can see it. And I could actually drag a little more of that blue in. And that might be a little confusing, but you get the idea. There we go. I can now turn that crop box off. This one still has the crop box showing, so I'm going to turn it off. All right, and so we have somewhat of a layout here. I think suitable for turning in. I've left you some room over here if you did the exact same layout to put your narrative in. Like I said, you can experiment with a bunch of things. I'm actually might take a second here and put some windows in here, some storefront glazing, just to kind of open up the facade a little bit. And I'll do that right now. I'll put it on pause and stick those in. We'll come back. So I kind of messed around. I added in some storefront glazing systems. I changed the lighting so that it was coming to a certain time of day. For instance, if I was to click into this drawing and go to the rendering settings, I now have the lighting set for time of day because I thought there was too much of the shadow cast on the black building. So I went to the in session still and changed it for still, in session still for 10:18 a.m. In order to move that shadow over the other white wall. So I'm pretty happy with this as being kind of the level of quality of your submission. You don't have to have the storefront glazing in. You could put other types of windows. They could just be openings. Anything you want to do, you could change the, the dark tile might be actually something you'd like to change the color of. So I invite you to do that. Anywhere you want to mix it up, change any shapes you want. The idea is just to build a little context around the truss system that we come up with. But I do want a good view of the truss. I want to make sure that it's not inverted, so I want you to make sure that it looks like I'm showing you here. It's not upside down, as I've discussed earlier. And don't forget to put your narrative on, and we should be good to go.